Also, ladies, you have gotten increasingly promiscuous. You've gotten increasingly boss babish, right? You're prioritizing things guys don't care about. You're like, oh, I don't need a man all day long. What do you think guys are going to do eventually when you keep saying, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, I can do it. Okay, honey, do it yourself, and I'll be over here just chilling. You don't need a man? Let's see how you do, right? That's where it's at right now. So when you keep telling guys you're useless, I don't appreciate you, you're not good enough, I don't need a man, eventually they say, you know what, screw you.
It is very hard to communicate facts without your interpretation of them or how people feel. I'm saying men will walk away, and men will walk away for two reasons. Number one reason, the quality of wives is too low. The women are too overweight. Not all. The women are too overweight. The women are too slutty. And the women, there's just not enough quality wives. You know, Aaron Clary broke down the numbers that Michael Knowles, he was kind of disputing them in our debate. But Aaron Clary did a whole video you can look up on his channel. It's from the Book of Numbers, going through how they got the 5% of women are marriageable stat.
Why would they want one? What's the number one thing that motivates guys in relationships? We're all thinking the same thing, and they can get that whenever they want with no commitment nowadays. They can meet that need, live on their own, make their own decisions, and do what else they want to do. We've devalued sharing our lives and decisions. We look at it as more of a chore now, and most relationships survive on the feeling of love until that wears out because it's temporary, and then they have to really love someone, and that requires work, effort, and they don't want to do that anymore.
Look around at the numbers, and it's impossible to ignore marriage rates are falling off a cliff, and a lot of men are quietly stepping back, not because they hate love, but because the risk to reward ratio has become brutal. Think about it. With no-fault divorce on the books, a man can do everything right, work, provide, stay faithful, and still lose half of what he's built with a single signature. Add in family courts that often lean toward the mother, and the possibility of false accusations that can wreck a reputation overnight. And you start to see why more guys are walking away. This isn't about hating women. It's about basic self-preservation. For decades, society pushed for equality, but the legal system never balanced the scales when it came to accountability. Women gained freedom, but men kept the liability. Now we're watching a generation of men quietly decide that signing a marriage license is like signing a blank check. And until the system changes, many will keep choosing freedom over a contract that feels like a trap.
Tired of girls being like, I'll ruin your life. I want a girl that's nice to me and encourages me to be a better person.
His wife taps the can with a knife. When the can doesn't open, she takes it out on her husband. But she has way too much pride. And she's actually kind of terrifying.
I can do anything that a man can do. I deserve to be treated equal. I am so sick and tired of being treated like one of the guys. What can a girl do to get an ounce of respect from men? Chivalry is dead. Dead.
Chivalry. Let's talk about chivalry for a second, because it's not the fairy tale people romanticize. For years, men were told that being the gentleman, the provider, the protector was the golden ticket to love and respect. But what actually happened? The so-called nice guys got sidelined, while the excitement and attention went to the Chads and Tyrones of the world, the men who don't play by the rules. And here's where it gets even messier. A woman can help create a family, enjoy all the benefits of that commitment, and then at any moment tear the whole thing apart. She can file for divorce, keep the kids, and still hold the father legally and financially responsible. The courts will often back her, even if she's struggling to stay afloat herself. Child support checks go out. Government assistance kicks in. Yet the father, the man who wanted stability, is the one blamed for the fallout. It's a system that rewards chaos and punishes responsibility, and men are finally noticing. They're asking the hard question: why play a game where the deck is stacked against you from the start?
Be single because I haven't found the right man yet. I choose to be single. I told you I have options. But they're not real options. But they're not real options.
Not to me, at least. They're options. None of your business.
Yeah, but they're not real options.
No, not to me.
Yeah, that's the point.
That's why I'm.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Like the guys that you want don't want you.
My date showed up with her best friend. They ordered the most expensive food and drinks. I said I had to use the bathroom. I hope Daddy's credit card works.
People are mad at me for leaving a date who brought her best friend to dinner. Essentially, I had a date plan with one of the girls, and when I arrived, she said her friend was joining us. And when we sat down, they started ordering drinks and appetizers and complimented me the whole time. At this point, I knew this was a scam, and I left. And people are saying that I didn't have a right to leave because those women probably earn triple my wage, and I can't face the embarrassment of not being able to afford cheap drinks. And that poor dudes shouldn't date, just stay at home. I don't know. What do you guys think?
This is disrespect. If it is a planned date in an intimate setting, it should just be the two of you. And for her to invite her friend to sit down with you guys, it's disrespectful of your time.
Picture this dynamic. She's out chasing status, stacking cash, and upgrading her lifestyle not to build a partnership, but to elevate her own image. The handbags, the luxury trips, the Instagram moments, those become the scoreboard. And where does the man fit into all this? He's not a teammate. He's the silent financier, the one covering the bills and handling every unglamorous task she refuses to touch. He's not celebrated as a provider. He's treated like an accessory, a wallet with a heartbeat, a butler to her brand. And here's the kicker: while she enjoys the glow of independence, he's left carrying the stress, the work, and the responsibility that keep her fantasy afloat. It's the kind of arrangement that looks glossy from the outside, but feels like slow suffocation for the man inside. A partnership in name only, where one person collects the perks and the other quietly pays the price.
$50,000 as a man, you should not date. Agree? Disagree? If so, why?
I mean, everyone deserves companionship, but you have to date a girl in your price range.
What do you mean?
You can't expect to like talk to a girl that's like used to going to like 5-star, Michelin star places once a week and go shopping once a week, and all you can provide is Chick-fil-A.
What's your expectation?
My personal expectation?
Yeah.
I don't really like to give away my expectation so men don't replicate it, but I'll just say like being reasonable, like every other week, like a dinner date, frequent vacations, princess treatment.
Princess treatment.
Yeah, I'm not too hard to deal with.
You said that you shouldn't date outside of your
price range.
Did you say what that is to you?
The activities that I like to do probably cost like anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 a month for a man to upkeep.
So, what are you hang gliding off
no,
of
like,
tower?
Like,
what are you doing?
that I do as a person. Yeah.
What is he taking you zip lining in Cairo? What's $10,000 a month?
No, I'm just like activities that I like to do, and then like with my partner. So like I'm saying, like I like to travel a lot. Oh. I'd love to go out to eat. Maybe 5 is a bit much. Let's say maybe like 3.
Well, hold on. You said 5 to 10. Yeah. So 5 was on the low end.
Yeah, because like what if we have a birthday or it's
a birthday?
That's why. I mean, that's at least $6,000, right?
The man doesn't see or feel the need to step up and be better because he starts to believe you ain't going nowhere. He starts to believe that regardless of what he does, you're going to stick around. And this becomes especially true when he's already messed up many times or he's done inappropriate things and you keep taking him back. He has no reason to think that now you're going to just up and one day walk away, which is why you'll see these situations where the woman finally gets fed up, finally says enough is enough, and the dude is shocked. He's like, I can't believe it, to the point where he's mad at her. And you would think as a woman, you're like, how could you not expect for me to at some point get sick and tired of this and leave you? But to him, it was like, you ain't leave all those other times.
They never saw it coming. While they were busy underestimating you, thinking you'd always stay, always tolerate, you were quietly making moves in the background. Every late night plan, every private decision was a brick in the exit path you were building. What they didn't realize is that the real power was never theirs to begin with. The ability to leave, to reclaim your peace, was sitting inside you the whole time. Walking away wasn't weakness. It was the final proof that you'd outgrown the chaos. And when the day finally came, you didn't need to announce it or beg for understanding. You just stood up, stepped out, and let your silence speak louder than any argument ever could.
I was texting a woman, and she told me she was living with her parents. which is, there's no shame in that. She said she's unemployed in between things, living with her parents. Same, like 2 sentences. She asked where I lived. I told her I rent a house. Verbatim, she said, "Ooh, men who don't own property are a red flag." Live from her parents' basement, she said this. I'm like, is it, like, don't you have a curfew? Like, what? At least I don't have to worry about waking up my parents if I bring somebody home. Like, what? I'm so sorry. Like, champagne taste on a beer budget, right? Again, no shame, but like...
All I want to know is, where are the blue-collar men when they're not at work? Because they're rarely at the bar, they're not on Hinge, like, I can't find them anywhere. Sometimes at Buffalo Chip, but that's about it.
They're either on their way to work and they've stopped at a convenience store, or they are just chilling at home, enjoying their peace. Also, maybe resting in bed because his entire body hurts.
The lie that men believe because of Hollywood and because of what we're told by everybody is that women are looking for the man that's going to love them the most, the man who's never going to walk away. So we keep trying to prove this enduring, unstoppable love. The man who loves the most is not the man that women are looking for. The man who has a purpose, a passion, or a plan about his life is the one that's most attractive to a woman.
Men are starting to figure something out that society rarely admits. Staying single can actually mean staying sane. For decades, the message was drilled in marriages, the cure for loneliness, the ultimate goal for every man. But reality keeps proving otherwise. A wedding ring doesn't guarantee companionship. In fact, rushing into marriage often replaces freedom with obligation. Many guys are now choosing to date casually, to test compatibility, and to walk away the moment the mask slips. Because let's be honest, people show their best side at first. The smiles, the sweetness, the angel energy. It's easy to fall for the performance. But too often, the real personality surfaces only after the vows are exchanged, when the stakes are highest. This isn't about hating commitment. It's about protecting peace. Men are realizing they don't have to gamble their future on a promise that might turn into a trap. Sometimes the happiest life is the one you build on your own terms. No contract required.
Some shit disobeys you, disrespects you, any of that fuck shit, just like John said, here's a fucking warning. Don't do that shit again or I'm out of here. And guess what? If she does that shit, you're out of there. Sometimes women need to feel that pain to realize, oh my God, what the hell is going on? I fucked up. A woman's not going to respect you unless you want to walk away from her, because most guys never walk away from her.
You can give someone chance after chance, then. 20, 100 then. They'll start believing it's proof of their charm. They think your patience means they're special, that you can't live without them. But what they never realize is that every second chance is actually training you to see the truth. With every disappointment, every broken promise, your tolerance for nonsense gets lower. Your heart might still hold on to the small moments, the 20% of good that kept you hoping, but your mind is quietly keeping score. Each time you forgive, you're not getting weaker. You're building resistance. By the time you finally walk away, it isn't sudden. It's the result of 100 quiet realizations, a slow strengthening of your boundaries. They'll wonder what changed, but the truth is simple. You just ran out of excuses to stay.
Men chase women anymore. Today, a guy gave a clear answer. A guy came today, he's 1.74 meters tall, has a bachelor's degree, earns around $150,000 a year, and has a house and car in Suzhou, although the house has a mortgage. He said, "Fan Jie, you're asking me why I don't chase women anymore. How should I do that? Let me tell you about my last 3 girlfriends."
And now the movement isn't just a Western trend, it's reaching all the way to China. Think about that for a second. Different culture, different language, same story. Men and women who should be building families and futures together are instead clashing over finances. It's heartbreaking when love turns into a battlefield of money and legal leverage. Relationships were supposed to be about trust, loyalty, and building a life side by side. But in a world obsessed with status and security, marriage has started to feel more like a contract negotiation than a partnership. What we're seeing is bigger than one country. It's a global wake-up call. When people who are meant to love each other are forced to fight over assets and payouts, something fundamental has broken. And until society stops rewarding greed over connection, we'll keep watching love get replaced by litigation.
And I really behaved like a bootlicker, always running after them. In the end, as they say, bootlickers end up with nothing. My first girlfriend was still in school at the time. I paid half of her tuition every year, even though I was working and 5 or 6 years older than her. After paying off my mortgage, I saved enough to pay part of her tuition and also bought gifts. After a year, she told me she didn't want to get married in the next 2 or 3 years and that I should look for someone else. I thought maybe because of the age difference I should give up. I spent so much effort, time, and money, and in the end I got nothing. My second girlfriend was already working. I thought I wouldn't have to support her, but it wasn't the case. During holidays, if the gift was small or the money transferred was low, she would be unhappy. I realized that making a girl happy requires expensive gifts, and that's how they measure a man's sincerity. So, I thought I didn't want to spend more money to make her happy, only to hear that we weren't compatible and end up wasting my efforts. The third girlfriend earned more than I did. I thought this time I wouldn't have to spend anything, but whenever we went out to eat, hang out, watch movies, or go to parks, I was always the one paying. She never spent a dime. I thought, you earn more than I do, yet I'm the one paying. She would spend $20,000 on a bag without hesitation. It's her money, earned by her, so I couldn't say anything.
The biggest secret one that society tiptoes around is that a man's greatest asset isn't status, money, or even relationships. It's freedom. The freedom to move how he wants, build what he wants, and live on his own timeline without needing approval. That kind of independence changes everything. Why is this such a guarded truth? Because real freedom breaks the old playbook. A man who knows he can design his life without chasing validation is much harder to control by culture, by family expectations, or by anyone who benefits from keeping him dependent. And here's the tension. Independence doesn't mean rejecting love or partnership. It means refusing to trade your peace for someone else's comfort. That scares a lot of people. Because a man who values his freedom is a man who can walk away from any situation that demands he shrink himself just to stay.
And I thought, what do I gain from this? She's a year older than me, earns more, but never spent a cent on me. What do I gain from this? In the end, I decided I was done. Now, I won't chase women anymore. If they want to talk to me, it has to be mutual. If I spend money on you, I'll keep track of everything. If I transfer money, I'll call it relationship allowance. And if we break up, I'll ask for it back. I'm very clear about this now. If you want me to pay for a meal, up to 100 yuan is fine, I'll pay. But if it's more than 300 yuan, we have to split the bill. If you're not willing to split, then we won't talk anymore. As you can see, this guy is very clear-headed now.
Finally, even men in China are starting to draw a line in the sand. The days of silent compliance are fading. More men are realizing they don't have to live as background characters in someone else's story. At the heart of this shift is a recognition of how validation works in the modern social game. Many women, especially in big cities where status is everything, are conditioned to chase constant attention, likes, compliments, admiration. It's a never-ending cycle. And the men who orbit around them, always available, always agreeable. Keep that cycle alive. But here's the turning point. Men are waking up to the cost of playing that role. They're learning that respect doesn't come from endless approval. It comes from having a backbone and clear boundaries. When a man stops revolving around someone else's need for validation, he stops being a satellite tan, starts being the center of his own life.
Ishi, a single mother. When a man pursues me, I don't dare to accept him easily. I can't believe in love. And what I fear most is not having the courage to enter into marriage again.
Like a grave, I keep making offerings, he lies there motionless, and he still eats my gifts. After eating, he still shouts at me, "You're at the wrong grave." This passage realistically reflects the relationship situation of many people born in the 90s. My cousin is from the 2000s, and they say, "You, from the 90s generation, live so tired, always buying houses, cars, getting married, and raising children. Can't you just live your own life?" It's undeniable that today's young people think more clearly. But we, from the 90s generation, try to escape but can't, always being controlled by thoughts similar to those of a sheep. For example, your parents will say, "If you don't get married and have children, what will you do when you're old? Who will take care of you when you're in the hospital bed?" Your girlfriend will say, "If you don't buy a house, how will we get married? Where will we live? On the street." And your friends will say, How can I not pamper her? If I don't please her for 3 days, she won't let me hold her hand.
It's an important point he's making. If you look back at previous generations, our parents, our grandparents, the approach to marriage and relationships was completely different. There was a sense of mutual responsibility, clear roles, and, for the most part, respect for boundaries. People weren't perfect, of course, but there was a shared understanding that building a life together required effort from both sides. Fast forward to today, and the landscape has changed dramatically. Women now operate in a world shaped by social media, heightened expectations, and cultural messages that often reward attention-seeking behavior over partnership. It's not just a shift, it's a new breed altogether. Some call it delusional, but it's really just the outcome of incentives stacked in a different way. Men are watching all of this unfold, taking notes and making choices that prioritize their peace, freedom, and future. And that's why conversations like these matter, because awareness is the first step to making smarter, stronger decisions in a world that's increasingly confusing. So, to all the kings out there, stay sharp, stay grounded, and keep reclaiming your life on your own terms.